Welcome back to the Beat Factory 313 War Stories podcast, and I'm your host Juice. And we got another guest for y'all today. Tell them who we got in the chat.
All right, we got Carlos King.
How you doing, brother King?
I'm all right, brother. How you doing?
I'm all as well. Go ahead, give your number and stuff you was about to do.
My name is Carlos King. My MA number is 2222974. I've been in Michigan prison since I was 18, 34 calendar years in prison. And today I would like to share my story with the hopes of you being able to assist me in the fight to gain my freedom. I should have been free in 2000, but due to an erroneous sentencing by this judge, I received a harsher sentence. So let me tell you how I found myself in prison today. In 1991, me and a couple of my friends was riding around looking for some people to rob. We found somebody to rob in Hamtramck, Michigan. And there's an off-duty police officer. He was with his girlfriend. And it was a robbery. It was intended to be a robbery. And somehow it ended up being a murder, robbery. 2 people were killed. I was originally charged with 2 counts of armed robbery, 2 counts of first-degree felony murder, and 1 count of felony firearm.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout my trial, I maintained my innocence in the sense that I didn't know that murder was going to take place. I didn't want people to die because I wasn't my intent. And I know I harmed people because I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have had a gun to begin with. So going through trial, the jury found me not guilty of 2 counts of first-degree felony murder,
mm-hmm.
and found me guilty of 2 counts of armed robbery.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my sentencing, my guidelines for the armed robbery was 3 years to 8 years in prison. But the judge went outside my guidelines and gave me 50 to 75 years in prison. I've been in prison ever since.
And how he justified going outside your guidelines that much?
He used acquitted conduct. He used the not guilty verdict of the murder to enhance my sentence. He said on record that I was responsible for the girl being killed because my co-defendant killed the other person. Then the girl was standing by me. He came and killed her. And he said I was responsible, but the jury had the same facts that he had, and they disagreed with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he still felt as though it was within his power to sentence me, because at the time of my sentence in 1992, when I got sentenced, there was no law that judges couldn't use acquitted conduct to enhance our sentence. So that's how he gave me 50 years, when my maximum sentence should have been 8 years in prison.
So what you been going through with appeal course on this matter?
Well, in 2019, the Michigan Supreme Court ruled that it was unconstitutional for judges to use acquitted conduct to enhance defendant's sentence. They changed the law. They said it violated my 14th and 6th Amendment right, a right to a jury. My right to the jury which means I had a jury trial of my peers. The jury found me not guilty, which means I'm not liable for the murder, for the crime of murder.
Okay.
The judge used that not guilty finding to enhance my sentence. Supreme Court changed the law, and they say you can't use acquitted conduct. So my family scraped up the little money they had and helped me get an attorney, Mary Owens, who filed an appeal on my behalf.
Okay. And so you're going through that at this moment?
Right, yes, sir.
Okay.
In 2019, they changed the law. 2020, I filed what is known as the 6500 motion. And the 6500 motion allows one last appeal from an incarcerated person to file within the court, whether it's newly discovered evidence or constitutional changes in law. and I filed because this is a constitutional change in law that immediately affects me. Because for him not being able to do what he did, I wouldn't have had this time in prison right now. I'd have been out of prison. I'm 51 years old. I've been out of prison 20 years ago.
Now, how old were you when you caught the case?
I was 18.
You was 18, okay. And how old was your rappies? How many rappies did you have on this case?
All together, it was a total of 4.
Ages?
The driver, he received, I think, 23 years. He got out of prison, I want to say, some years ago, right? My co-defendant, my co-defendant Jamal, my co-defendant and my best friend and my brother, he was found guilty of the 2 counts of murder. He received 2 natural life sentences. He went home March 22nd, 2022. March 10th, 2022.
And how let the people know how he got
home. He was a juvenile. And in 2012, they changed the juvenile law. The United States Supreme Court ruled that it's unconstitutional. It's cruel and unusual punishment to sentence juveniles to life in prison. And they made it retroactive. That's how my rappy was able to get out of prison. He out there, he married, he got to start his family, he doing his thing. I'm still in prison as the robber.
And everybody else, it sounds like everybody else, all 3 rappies out of prison right now?
Yes. The one rappy, the one I was just in the truck, he never got no time. I think he got 5 years suspended sentence. So he never really came to prison. So yes, everybody out of prison.
But you.
And right now, but me. And right now we dealing with the Supreme Court. We filed in the Supreme Court June 2024, June 1st, 2024, because the Court of Appeals denied the retroactive application of the law. So basically what the Court of Appeals essentially did, they said the law shouldn't be applied retroactive. Because basically what they said, they don't know if it affects so many people. The acquitted conduct law changed. So they said it should just be looked upon prospectively. And I feel like it's erroneous, you know what I mean? Because basically what they said is I should remain in prison for 50 years for a crime that I was found not guilty of. So I'm in prison right now in the Supreme Court, pleading with the Supreme Court to make the case law retroactive so I can get out of prison.
Okay. So where you at with it now? Can you go into detail about go ahead.
Yeah, we waiting now. It's just a waiting game. There's no time limit on the courts when to decide a motion. So we've been in the courts we've been in the courts 3 months now, waiting for a decision.
And what group you working with now for us with legal assistance?
Well, I ain't working with no particular group. Nobody has reached in and helped me. You know, my legal group has been my family and my friends. You know what I mean? They have came to my aid and assisted me in doing what and for example, like I got a friend that just came home, Andrew Lamper. I'm gonna shout out Andrew. He just came home on the 27th of August. He was a juvenile. He was 18. He had natural life. He just came home. He was the one who wrote my 6500 motion before I even sent it to my attorney, to this attorney that we eventually hired. He did all the work for me to help me get out of prison.
That's what's up. And so
you know what I mean? And now he out of prison, so he did all the work, and I done talked to him since he's been home, so he's still gonna help me do whatever he can, because he cold, he got that legal mind. He should have been an attorney, but he was in prison, but he got that mind of an attorney, he got that drive of an attorney, and I believe in his work ethic. and the things he's done because he didn't got me far.
And so what you think it is that's the courts delaying to release you and everybody else on the case is releasing you didn't play the harshest role in the crime.
Right, man. I've been trying to figure that out. And that's a good question you asked, but I be trying to figure that out, right? I literally, seriously, man. And then like I say, I want to just talk for a minute because when I was 18, going through what I was going through, I didn't understand the severity of what transpired. Because even though I was found out guilty of the crime, you know what I mean? It don't take away the fact that families suffer and they continue to suffer because of what happened on May 17th, 1991. Right? And I remember, and I just want to speak about this, and I want to talk about the sister, Officer Scarrow, his sister. She spoke.
Take us back to that night. Take us back to that day.
Yeah, I'm going to take you back to that. You take an 18-year-old kid sitting in the courtroom, faced with charges, they telling me I'm going to spend the rest of my life in prison. I'm going to do this. I'm thinking about my little young son. I'm just thinking, but I was so caught up in my pain and my hell that I couldn't empathize and sympathize with the family. So as a knucklehead, unintelligent individual, I'm smiling, I'm winking because they were staring at me so hard and it became a defense mechanism for me that to have some sort of power to say, man, I see your stares and your winks and you ripping up your mug and I'm seeing all that and that ain't fake. But really they weren't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
She just spoke about what I took from her. And I never forget what she said.
What she said? Share that with the chat.
She said, Carlos, somebody done failed you. You know what I mean? Somebody failed in your life. You know,
you have 1 minute remaining.
You sit here, you smiling, you winking. You don't understand what you took from me. He was a big brother. He was the big brother of all of us. He was the one that put us in place. He was the one that provided things that we need because we was his siblings. You took that away from us. And as she was talking, I really didn't register. It didn't go inside of me. Not at that particular time, right? It didn't go inside of me. So she's doing all this talking. And when she said somebody failed me, I immediately looked at my mother. Because in my mind, my mother wasn't no failure. So my mother did the best that she could. I still chose my own path in life.
Call back too.
I just felt like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna call right back. And I just felt like you saying failure, mama. I took it personal when that wasn't what she was saying. And then I didn't understand that then.
Mm-hmm.
But years later, man, her words affected me in a real way. And when the words affected me in a real way, I have yet.
Thank you for you.
Go ahead, you good.
So in the process of that, I come to prison. Now I come to prison unintelligent, a school dropout in the 7th grade. I had one son. My son was born in 1990. He was 1 at the time I got arrested. And so I came to prison with my own hell, my own pain, the things I went through, the things I suffered from. I came to prison with all that. And I came into a world that was foreign to me. I wasn't in prison a full day before I see somebody get brutally stabbed right in front of me. And I never forget, we was on our way to the mess hall to eat, and the guy tapped me on the back. I don't really know nobody because I just came in prison. When I turned around to see who it was, he had his finger on his lips like he was saying, shh, he's trying to get past me to get in front of me. So I just moved out the way. I didn't know what he was trying to do. I thought he was trying to get to his homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
But he moved past me. He brutally stabbed. Some of the blood even spurted on my shirt. I'll never forget, I was sitting at the child hall. I couldn't even eat. And I was trying to figure out the world that I just been thrust upon me. And it was violent. It was real violent. Then in the child hall,
mm-hmm.
fight broke out. And so when I came back to my cell, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, first thing I'm thinking about, I got to get me a knife. I got to defend myself because I think I weighed 148, if that. You know what I mean? I was a little small child, you know. So that was my mentality because I wasn't going to let nobody take advantage of me. I wasn't going to let myself be abused. I wasn't going to let myself be assaulted. So I did what I had to do. I became prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. I didn't listen to no rules. You couldn't tell me nothing. I had that same mindset that I had in the street. It was my way or the highway, and that's how I rolled in prison. So in the process, you know, I was just catching misconduct, infractions. Then I caught my first assault, my only assault in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
When I catch this assault, I go to Standish Max. I go to Standish Maximum Security Prison.
Tell us about the assault. How you end up at the Max?
Right, yeah. Now the assault occurred in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Between me and some brothers, we got into it with some guys, and that's how it was. You know, and that alone, it was like, this is my element. This is what, you know. I wasn't afraid. It was just what I had to do, what I had to be to protect myself. You know, because you're dealing with people that was much older than you. You was a baby. I was considered a baby. They used to call me Young Buck. That's what I was, Young Buck, you know, because you were so young.
Right.
Barely had a mustache, you know. And so when I went to Standish Max, from Standish Max, I went to Barracks Max. And this never forget. This 1990, I get to Barracks Max like 1998, and I leave in 2000. Well, when I was in Barracks Max, man, you know, I was having this conversation with a guy. He was like, man, what are you doing to get out of prison? And I was like, I ain't doing nothing. You know, I ain't doing nothing. And I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't fighting for my case. I wasn't going to the law library. I was just trying to survive prison. Not just being honest. I was trying to survive prison. Because, you know, prison today, people come to prison today, it ain't what I experienced when I came to prison.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? It was rough. It was rugged. You couldn't hold your own. You was being downtrodden. They was going to take advantage of you. That's just what it was. And so I'm thinking about how to keep myself alive and healthy. And that's the only thing that matters. Because when he gave me them 50 years, I never thought I was going to get out of prison anyway, but I never thought I would live long enough to do any of that. You know, I had the mindset I was going to be dead at 21, 22 years old. That was just the mindset. I didn't have longevity because of the choices that I made. So I never looked to be an old man. I never saw myself becoming an old man. Further than that, I never saw myself becoming an old, wise person. I never knew that one day I would accumulate knowledge. I never knew that one day I had some self-discovery. I never knew that until I went to Barracks Max.
Mm-hmm. And what you encountered there?
Right. When I get to Barracks Max, I went to administrative segregation for smuggling. And what I was, like I said, I'm honest. I ain't got nothing to hide. I went to the hole for smuggling. When you in segregation, the guys don't supposed to have no cigarettes or none of that. We still had cigarettes in prison.
Right.
They wasn't supposed to have none in the hole. And me, I was trying to help all them brothers in the hole. Whoever I could, I was sending cigarettes. Ended up getting caught. I go to the hole for smuggling. But when I was in the hole, the conversation that I had with the guy started to hit me. That's like, what you doing to get out of prison? What you doing to get out of prison? And at that point, I had done nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even know what to do. I just pulled out my transcript. I just started reading my transcript. So basically, I was reading what they thought of me. Not even what I thought of myself. I was reading what they thought of me. Because I thought, in my mind, you didn't even know me. And I say you never knew me because going through all my processes, all my court dates, you never asked the mitigating circumstance. You never asked me how did I find myself involved in this type of situation. You never asked me what was my family structure like. You never asked me what did I suffer from. None of those things came into play. You saw a black kid committed a crime, you was under punishment. So I'm reading the transcripts. Then I get to my sentencing transcripts. And man, when I read what his sister said, I didn't even know I was crying. I didn't even know her words gonna affect me like that. And I would just read everything she said, and I was affected by it.
The victim sister?
I looked up, say it again.
The victim sister?
Yes, the off-duty police officer, Samuel Scarrow, his sister. And I'm reading her words, and their words, like I say, man, it felt like 1,000 bees just stinging me at the same time. Like, wake up, wake up, wake up. But in that moment, I became humane, man. In that moment, I became humane. In that moment. Because it was the first sign of real emotions, uncut, unraw emotions that I had ever distributed for this case and for that crime and for what they lost and what they suffered. I was humane in that moment. I was affected. And then it started off me trying to get out of prison. That's why I pulled out my transcripts. But when I read what she wrote, I wanted to be a better person.
That's what's up. And what did
it wasn't even about getting out of prison. It wasn't even about getting out of prison at that point. I wanted to be a better person. And I wanted to know how I could be a better person. So what I did, I don't know how it is for anybody else, but what I did, I had a healthy imagination when I was a kid. I should use my imagination. Even in prison, I should close my eyes. Every time I went to sleep, I would close my eyes and put my music on, and I'll be in society. Man, I always can take my mind to another place. I can always do that. So in my imagination, man, I imagine the person that I could be if I was willing to work. I just didn't know where to start. So what I did was I didn't put no music on. I just closed my eyes and I was still with myself. And I was just looking for everything that ever happened to me. I was looking for all the errors, everything I suffered from. It was coming back like a Rolodex. That's how healthy it was coming back like it had eyes on it. It was never mentioned. It just needed me to pay some attention to it. And once I paid attention to it, I saw everything that I suffered from. I saw when I made the transition and stopped listening to my mother and start running those streets. I saw how not having a father affected me. I saw how when I was abused, how that affected me and what did I do with that. I saw how when I was hungry and starving and didn't have nothing to eat. I saw those things. I saw all the responses that I made to those things. They was never good.
And so what did you come how did your reality sink in then?
So the rap, it was painful, man. Like I said, I became humane because now I'm emotional. I'm just crying. I was very emotional during those transitional phases in my development because I was discovering the root. That's the word I want to say. I'm discovering the root of my pain. And that root, that stuck with me, man, throughout my incarceration, so much so that I created an acronym for the word root. Reliving our own traumas.
Reliving our own trauma. I like that. Because
when you relive when you relive your trauma, now you're dealing with it, as opposed to allowing my trauma to deal with me. See, when you allow something to deal with you, then you ain't in control of what you do.
That's right.
But when you deal with it, then you in control. And you can decide what choices you want to make due to that trauma that you suffer from. And so, as I'm reading her words, I kept those words. I pulled them out the transcripts, and I was just looking at her words every day because her words was the affirmation that I needed to be better. I wanted to be better. See, that's the key. In my life, so many people was trying to get me to be better because they saw my promise. They said, man, you got some promise. You can write. You love poetry. You could read. You could do so many things other people couldn't do. Like, I write so good, people be like, man, damn, you write like a girl. I always heard that, so I was scared to write. I said, damn, men can't have good penmanship.
Right.
I knew how to write in cursive, and so I knew how to express myself. I was just expressing myself the wrong way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had a gift then, but I was using it in the wrong way.
Well,
and because of that, go ahead.
Now that you're in tune with that, what would you like to say to that sister as a man now, as opposed to when you was a child, you had nothing to say to her?
Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you and your family. I'm deeply sorry, and I know sorry ain't enough. But it's all I can offer. But then I can offer you the fact that I took what you said and I made myself into a remarkable human being despite the conditions of prison. I'm not defined by prison. I understood what you were saying about what I took from you because I lost so many cousins throughout this journey. I understand what death is. I never was a part of that. I didn't understand it. I understand what death is. I understand what sorrow is. And I understand what loss is. And I'm sorry. I know sorry ain't enough. But it's what I got. And then what I put with that is that I'm better. I know my betterment don't do justice to you because you don't got your brother. But my betterment is do justice for somebody else. And then it can ease your comfort to know that it was your words that propelled me forward. It was your words. You was the light. You didn't even know it. You was the light in my darkness. You was the light in my darkness. And again, my heart goes out to you. I haven't forgotten nothing that transpired. I didn't want your brother to be taken from you. I didn't want her to be taken from her family. I didn't want none of that. But nonetheless, I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have even been in the situation. So I understand.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Forgive me. And I respect it. I respect it. I understand. But I didn't forgive myself. I had to. Because if I didn't forgive myself, I'd still be that same monster that you thought you was looking at in the courtroom. I wasn't no monster. I was just misguided. That's all. And again, my heart goes out to you every day that I'll never forget. I'll never forget.
Call back too, King.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna call back.
Okay, bet. I'm gonna pause it and then we continue there. You can close it out there with some of your talent and what you develop out of your experience in prison and what and her words that changed you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's crazy when we think about it. But I'm gonna call right back and we're gonna share. All right, so I told y'all how her letter inspired me forward, paved the way. So I don't want to think y'all I'm just saying this. I would like to read what she said in her statement about what Carlos King. You have no idea what you've done to my family for the actions you have chosen to take on the night of May 17, 1991. Our family was told about the brutal murder of Sam on that night, and we attended his funeral in the days that followed. It was unthinkable that we as a family were going through these proceedings. We were merely social robots going through the action. However, after the funeral, it began to sink in our hearts and our minds, and we yearn for his presence every day. In this statement, I will tell you about 3 things: Scarrow family, Sam, and yourself. Hopefully, it will give you something to think about for the rest of your life. We lived on the east side of Detroit. There were 4 children in our family. Sam was the oldest. It was a tremendous struggle. But my parents managed to send us all to a Catholic school. They valued education and our future, so they sacrificed a house in the suburbs, a new car, and many other things. All 4 children were very close in age. We were also very close in our relationships with one another. We went to school together. We were always outside playing sports together. We ate meals together. Then we went to church together. This is how my family operates. Sam, being the oldest, was naturally the leader. He was the personality and the humor in the family. Everyone in the neighborhood loved him. He was very friendly and very respectful to people. Sam loved people. They loved him. His funeral was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. At one point in time, I sat in the front of the casket and told my priest, the people that have done this to my brother must see this. They must see this massive turnout of people. They must hear all the words spoken in this room today. Families and friends came from many years ago. People that we have forgotten about. Grown men came in and cried at his casket, saying, how could anyone do this to Sam? Everyone loved him. At one point, an elderly confused woman approached the casket with a newspaper clipping with Sam's picture. She put the newspaper up to his face in disbelief. She began shaking her head and crying. She told my sister, this policeman helped me after my purse was stolen. He took me home, comforted me, and he gave me money. This is the most vivid picture I could paint of you or Sam. Now, Carlos, I will tell you about you. It is apparent, not only by your actions on the night of May 17, 1991, but by your actions throughout trial, that you have no love for your fellow man. My family will never forget your frequent smiles, winks, and obscene gestures. You have taken our pride and our joy away, and you laugh in our faces. You don't even care. Your mind is not even capable of knowing the damage that you have done to us. It is apparent that somewhere, at some point in time in your life, someone made some mistake. You're a young man. However, you are set in your ways, and you will have a hard life because of it. Someone in your life fails you at a very early age. There are two basic things that every parent must teach their children. Those two things are to respect and value human life, and to become an honest, responsible person in society. You have not been taught those things. Therefore, you cannot be an active part of this society for a long time, or maybe even ever. The reason for this is because you will never know the meaning of the concept of human life and responsibility. These things must be instilled in the individual at a very early age in their lives. As some may put it, you have missed the boat. And this is where you have failed yourself. No matter what you were or were not taught in life, there comes a time when you must take responsibility for your own actions and decide what is right and what is wrong. In conclusion, when I asked by the victim rights area of the family about this situation, how has this crime impacted your family, I was unable to answer at first. However, now after my wedding day went by without Sam being the groomsman that he was supposed to be, and now after our family has felt the pain of his birthday and Christmas gone by without him, I can tell you, Sam's life has destroyed my family. Sam's death has destroyed my family. We were a very close unit. Sam was the oldest son, the one his brothers and sisters looked up to, and the one that his mother and father were so proud of. He was a solid link in our family chain that you broke, Carlos, on the night of May 17, 1991. All I can say to you is, just remember, every night that you sit in your prison cell and cry about being there, I can guarantee you that there will be someone on the outside shedding a tear over what you did to Sam and Carol on that night. Our pain and our tears will never stop, nor should yours. And they happen. They happen. I do understand. You said I missed the boat. I probably missed it early on in my development. I did, because I was malnourished. There were things that I didn't possess as a kid. And those things matriculated into that brutal night of May 17th. And I'm into you. And I'm just telling you right now, you will never be forgotten. Your brother will never be forgotten. Not just by the people who knew and loved him, but by me. Because I feel like he will always be a part of me. Because that event will never leave my mind. And I will always talk about it. That's all I want to say about that.
That's what's up. That was deep, and her message was deep, and it lost me at the loss of words. What was what was the two victims' name again? So I could shed some light on that, and condolences to those families that lost their loved ones.
His name was Officer Samuel Scalo.
How you spell the last name? You know?
SCARROW.
Say that again. SCARROW. Okay. And what was the female name?
Her name was Carol Saad. SAAD.
SAAD.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Carol. Okay.
It's fine.
That's right. Okay.
And I just want, and just behind that, just knowing where I'm at in my life, even before I even tell you about what I discovered when I looked within myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I wrote this poem called I Have Risen. And because I wanted to show people that I wasn't the same person that I was. But it took more for me because I was filled with so much and I was empty of so many other things. It took more for me. I didn't just come to prison and the next day I was different. It took years for me to see the error of my ways. It took years for me to go within myself and find that button and switch it on. It took years for me to find that. But this is the product. I'm the product of that. I'm the product of that. The person that's on this telephone right now having an intelligent conversation. Well, just yesterday I was so consumed in my ignorance that I didn't have no intelligent words for anybody. It was always about me. I remember my mother told me one time, I didn't know what it meant because I didn't know my father. But one day in prison, I never forget, man, I was an MR. And I think my mother was sending me $100 a week. And back then I had a gambling habit. I don't got no habits now, but back then I had a gambling habit and I was gambling. I needed some more money. So I never forget she wrote me and she told me, if you're using this money for gambling or anything, I'll never send you nothing else again. And then I got on the telephone. I was like, man, I don't want to be hearing that, this and that, you know, because I was young. She told me, just like your father. If it ain't about you, if it ain't your way, you don't want to do it or you don't want to be a part of it. Man, when I put that mirror to me, I saw that. That's another thing that broke me down. That right there. Seeing yourself in reflection. And in that reflection, transform. So it was all type of things that I went through that catapulted me across the fence and into the valley of understanding and wisdom. So I want to share this poem, I Have Risen, with you. I have risen from the deepness of my sleep because I choose to be more than the prison number that they use to define me. No, I am more. I'm not that same 18-year-old, immature, selfish, drug dealing, robbing and stealing, nickel slick hustler, taking advantage of my brothers, sisters, mothers almost 30 years ago. No, I am more. I'm the brother that stayed in the mud until I rose and self-discovered. Educated my mind with a truth that was like no other. Free all the political prisoners so we may enjoy the presence of our sons and our daughters. Found empathy for my victims because I know they continue to suffer. Sought forgiveness from a power much greater than my own because I knew we needed each other. Yes, I have risen. I have cultivated my mind beyond the tragedies of my past because I am driven. I am no longer miseducated, influenced by bad behavior, or geared towards a destructive end that doesn't reflect my inherent nature. Yes, I have risen. I'm a brother that is dedicated to the struggle. I give everything I have, even my own life, to save the lives of my sisters and my brothers. And I stand on this at the apex of my structure. Because all I am and all I will ever be is tied within this transformation that has made me tougher. Yes, I have risen.
I like that. I like that. And what you was going through it at the time in your life when you wrote that?
Man, everything. I was just seeing myself. I was seeing myself really in the first time without no peer pressure, without me trying to follow and be like somebody else, without me just blaming all my circumstances on somebody else. I saw me. Listen, man, when you intoxicated, man, on the ears of the world, man, it's hard to see you. You consume and your consumption is killing you, but you don't know it because everybody intoxicated. But once you remove yourself from those intoxicants, once you clear your mind up, once you dig the garbage out of your head and you start putting real substance matter in, and you see you. I saw me, man, and I didn't like what I saw. No, I ain't trying to be emotional right now, but I didn't like what I saw. I did.
Right.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I didn't like being that person.
Now say something.
That left my son out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call back. I don't like
Okay.
being that person, man, that left my son out there to fend for himself.
That's
I
right.
didn't like being that person that left my mama home. Just made a messed up life for myself. I like being an individual that just disregarded everything and everybody that some trying to do and give to me. I didn't like being the person that hid behind being irresponsible. I didn't like being that person no more. So I wrote that poem. I live my life today and reflect of that. Celebrate that. Where my mind belongs to me. So what I produce and what I create is coming from a genuine place. In this transition of prison, man, it's hard. I've seen so many people never come out of prison because they lost their lives in prison. This transition in prison is hard. I'm good. I never liked that person. And I wanted to be different. Not for nobody else, not the victims of my crime, not for my mother, not for my son, not for my community. I first wanted to be different for myself. Because I know if it was genuine, it was organic, and it was from me, then it would be cemented. You know what I mean? I can walk in and I can live in that. And once I made me better, now I can be about my community, my thing. That's why I can understand what Calamita said. That was her name. That was his sister's name. Now I can understand what she said, what she meant. I can feel that. Now I can go back and know that, so what? I didn't have my father. Yeah, he wasn't a part of my life. So what? I had a hell of a mother that did everything. I had community that was willing to give. I just wasn't willing to receive. So I can't go back and say I didn't have this. I didn't utilize those avenues. And so those avenues was those angels, a person saved, be in your life that you disregard. Those avenues was those guideposts telling you don't go that way. I didn't listen. And because I didn't listen, I ended up in prison. I ended up blaming all my circumstances on somebody else. But when I wanted to be better, I started being better for myself. And I live for that. I'm inspired to do more. So now I done built myself. I done educated myself. I done not just a GED, I'm a certified paralegal. I'm a certified Braille transcriber. I'm a certified personal financer. I got so many certificates. I can go on and on. I done wrote a book. I published a book in 2013. What was it? 2013, I want to say.
Let them know the name of that book. Let them know the name of that book and where they can find it.
The name of my book is Pain is My Past, Love is My Future. And I'm right now working to get it back on Amazon. So it should be back on Amazon within another week because we in talks and we discussing. They can have my books. We just waiting for them to get it all cataloged so they can put it back on there. But the book's been already dropped and shipped to them. We just waiting for the final work to know that you can go get this book off Amazon.
Okay.
I done wrote all type of curriculum. I done wrote curriculums for the young people, youth in trauma, that I call YIT.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's powerful. That piece alone, man, because I know the trauma that the young people suffer from, because I was that same young person.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta understand, when you suffer from youth trauma, it becomes adult trauma. Because if you don't deal and heal with it, then it perpetuates your life. It's everywhere. It's a cycle that you utilize. It's your crutch that you run to. I don't want to have no more crutches. I don't want to be walking around with a cane when I don't supposed to have a cane. I don't want to be crawling on the ground when I'm supposed to be standing up moving. I don't want to blame my circumstance on nobody. But I want my circumstance to be able to beautify somebody else's life. I'm currently the NAACP president, the Macomb Branch Prison. I'm a core member for Chance for Life. They located in like 12 to 15 prisons throughout the state, and they name it rings to the parole board. If you're a part of Chance for Life, they love to give you your freedom because they know the recidivism. You ain't coming back to prison. I'm a core member. I'm a certified mediator, which means I mediate with these young guys to keep them out of harm's way. But I do that every day in my everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go nowhere in prison that somebody don't know me or my works. Nowhere in prisons throughout Michigan that somebody don't know me or my works and they speak to that. That's what I do. And I don't need no pats on the back. I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work because I know that I'm better. I know that I'm deserving, I'm worthy of my freedom because I'm better. But I ain't just better for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't no individual. I understand that I am because we are. That we are a collection of ideas. We are a collection of promise. We are a collection of insights that I pull from. That's why I call on my ancestors to lead me, to teach me, to show me what I can't see.
That's right.
It ain't just about me. It ain't just about me. And I understood that. I remember back in the day when I wrote this poem when I was younger, when I was just developing. And it was crazy. I wrote this poem, and the name of the poem was When I Was Lost. Ain't that a hell of a name?
Right.
When I Was Lost. And this is what I'm saying. When I was lost,
mm-hmm.
when I saw my reflection in the mirror, it had me turning away. When I felt the pain in my soul, it had me beginning to pray. Lord, please grant me forgiveness because I sincerely repent from the evils of my life and all the tragedies that went from my hands through your lands as I was roaming the earth, destroying all the beauty you built and cultivated from dirt. But I was weak as a man, never knowing the truth. Repeatedly lied to as a child, which corrupted my youth. Forced to fight many battles that was never my own. Claimed to be loved by many people that would lead me wrong. I left home at an early age and fell deep to the street. Became a loser like my peers and started craving for beef. I sold drugs and robbed people. It was all I could see. But I had the love of my family that kept screaming for me. Change your life before you die or went up in the cell. To live amongst the fools that you perish in hell. I wouldn't listen and my life was never ever the same. I took a turn for the worse and I was solely to blame.
Man, that was deep. That was deep. You accomplished a lot. You feel me? And that's why
Yes, sir.
I was blessed that you came and shared your experience from the outside to the inside. And you always got to come back. You know what I'm saying? And say something to the youth that's watching. Because they out here and they was lost like we was lost before. So give them some encouragement and some enlightenment.
But this is the thing. It's for the young people. Man, I love y'all. And I ain't saying that from a old person or messed up. I love y'all genuinely. And the reason why I love you genuinely because I'm you. We ain't no different. Ain't no separation. Ain't no age. That's rich, man. Age. We divided by age or skin color or weight. No, ain't no divide. I am you. I'm you. If you underdeveloped, that means I failed you. If you having a struggle, that means I must assist you. And if you need love, I must give it to you. I offer you those things. Whatever impedes you. Don't do what I did. Find somebody to talk to. Find somebody that you can confide in. Because I know it's rough being vulnerable to a stranger. showing your pain. But I'm telling you, you got people that will wrap their arms around you. You got people that will love and console you. You got people that will give you an opportunity to show your greatness. Show your best self. Because I know you struggle, but we all struggle. I know it's hard, but it's hard for everybody. But you ain't alone in your fight and your quest to be better. We need to have responsible people looking after you. You need to have a mother and father and community that lift you up as opposed to showing you all the things that tear you down. You need to have somebody to run and talk to when you're experiencing difficulty and uncertainty. You need those resources because right now you malnourished. That's why you're acting out. But it ain't your fault because we supposed to lift you up. We supposed to help you develop. We supposed to help you see and reach your apex. That's your highest point. That's the tip of your iceberg because I know it's inside of you. Even if you don't see it, even if you don't believe, it's right there. It's that enemy. It's that you. Not social media, not your community, but you. If you want better for yourself and ain't nobody around you trying to help you get better, then go on a quest of self-discovery. And first start with you. Look within yourself and then have a pen and a piece of paper so you can write all the things that ails you, all the things that you suffer from, so you can have an idea of where to start. And you start at the most extreme location. Because when you go to the extreme location, then everything else becomes easy. Bad habits is hard to break, but so are good ones. Good habits hard to break too. So don't just think you all bad. Don't believe what they tell you. Don't let them stigmatize and label you. Don't let them define you. You define you. You beautiful. You amazing. You define you. You write your own story. That's the name of my second book. Tell Your Story, Walk. And the reason why I'm writing that book, because as long as we breathe, we got something to say. We got something to give. You're never going to walk out of our house and everything will be put together. But I guarantee you, you can find every piece that's missing from your life somewhere out there with somebody ready to give it to you. We just got to search beyond our own perspective. We got to search beyond our own community. I love y'all.
Love you too, Carlos X, man. That was when the word lost, man. And it enlighten the people on the what y'all trying to put together for the visits and getting the visits restored back to normal procedures since the COVID has been lifted.
Hey, yes, somebody filed a lawsuit against the Governor Whitmore, man, about our visits, man. They still got us on COVID protocol, and we ain't COVID, which means it used to be a time where you could have a visit. Your visit starts at 2:30 in the afternoon. They ended at 9 o'clock on the weekday. On the weekend, it was from 9 to 9. You know what was necessary, man. You know why that's necessary to be restored. You know why?
Let them know why.
Because the state of affairs with family, man, it's essential. And that's why we got so much pain and bitterness, and we trying to break up families as opposed to support families and bring families together. We need those visits, man. We need the visits, man, because it strengthens the bond that prison has torn due to our incarceration. We need those visits because our sons and daughters need the time with us. 2 hours is inadequate to be able to spend some quality time with a 4-year-old that's looking for a daddy. She needs them hours. You know why? That's consistency. She's gonna take them 9 hours back to her home. Be like, my father, I've been with my father for 9 hours straight. So I feel like I know him. I feel like he know me. I had time to play with him. I had time to laugh with him. Even though his circumstances dark, we was there for him. We was there for him, and he was there for us. We need that our children are coming to prison at an alarming rate. We need those visits to try to steer them a different direction. They want to afford us the opportunity. They keep us under this COVID protocol. But that ain't just nothing. That's just one aspect of the pain that exists within prison. You malnourished, you can't develop.
That's right.
They feed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't even eat. I don't even go to the child hall, man. I do not go over there.
That's right. Tell them
I
why.
want to feed what they feed to an animal, man. I'm just being real, man. You going over there eating some stuff you can't even make out.
Let the chat know, because everybody don't know. So let them know what's going on.
That's what's going on in prison. You got people coming to prison. They don't got they don't even got social development. They coming in young, 21, 22, 20, they young. They don't even know how to engage. They don't even know how to talk to you. They come to prison right now to step on you, to crush you, to hurt you. That ain't their job. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta understand, being humane is an act of kindness, bro, that everybody's supposed to possess. But again, some of us don't, because I was humane and kind when I was going through my hell. But
You have 1 minute remaining.
Adolescents growing up without the proper essentials that they need to develop and flourish, becoming adults, they still lack those same characteristics and qualities that they needed when they was a child. They're not getting that as an adult. You feel what I'm saying? This is what social media and prison is doing to the community. We need to do something different. We need to be better. We need to do more. Even if you can write a brother a letter that's in prison, even if you could just say hello, that's changing the trajectory of his life. Because some of these brothers don't got nobody even to say hello to.
That's right. We enjoyed you,
I
Carlos.
can call back if you want me to call one more time.
Yeah.
I could.
You can call back.
All right, I'm on it.
Okay,
But that's what they need. We need that. We need to be examples, man. Look at the world. You can't even tell your child to look at the. I'm good. So that's what we need. Just look all over the world. Every time you turn on the television or look in the newspaper, look all the pain in the world. You can't even tell a child to watch the political scene and see if you can be a representative or a senator or a governor or a president to do something different from the community when you got these people on TV degrade themselves. They degrade each other, man. They don't even talk about the issues no more. It ain't even about the issues. It ain't about poverty, man. It ain't about health care. It ain't about inadequate housing. It ain't about the fair distribution of wealth. It ain't about none of that. It's about I'm going to attack your person. And I'm going to use that attack. You know why? You know why it's healthy? Because everybody doing it. Oh, it must be right because everybody doing it. So this is what we suffering from. So now we the micro of prison. This is our suffering. Yeah. Some of us came to prison. And I'm just being real. Some of these people deserve to stay under the prison. Because they horrible. They monsters for real. I'm around them. They monsters for real. But it's a whole lot of us that's worthy of an opportunity to get out of prison. It's a whole lot of us that's changed, that's transformed, that's better. It's a whole lot of us that love where they didn't love before. They kind where they never kind before. They humane where they was never humane before. You got brothers and sisters in prison that's poets. They lawyers in their own right. They community builders because they build these communities. Just imagine if you take all the brothers like me, Bantu, my man Sankofa, you take all us away. My man Frank, I got young brothers on this board in the NAACP. You know why? Because it ain't no separation. I don't look at it. We ain't divided. We want the same thing. You want fresh water, I want fresh water. What AIDS got to do with it? You want food in your stomach, I want food in my stomach. What AIDS got to do with it? You want upliftment, I want upliftment. What AIDS got to do with it?
That's right.
Society, man, that divide us, man, and label us and stigmatize us, then they push you out into the world. Just imagine what social media doing. And if any parent listening to me that got small children, please go by the book, The Anxious Generation. by Jonathan Haidt. I think you spell his name H-I-T-T. So I'm giving him a shout out. The Ancients Generation. Because he's breaking down what social media has done to our children. When we was kids growing up, there was parameters around the safety net. You couldn't do nothing to any time. You couldn't. Because they was parameters. You had the elders, they was watching over. No matter what we did, they had their houses. If they were taking all the community to the beach, somebody was responsible for making sure all the kids ate, all the kids were safe, and all the kids returned back home in the same way that they left. So today, we don't got no parameters for our children when they get on social media. There's no parameters. They running into monsters and maniacs, and they running into unsurety. Because when a child is undeveloped, he's not ready for that iPhone, that smartphone. He's not ready.
Mm-hmm.
You thrust him into a world where he ain't ready. He's not fully equipped to deal with. This is why you're seeing the tragedy that we're seeing right now, the isolation that you're seeing right now, and the loss of life that we're seeing right now as a result of this computer age.
Mm-hmm. Talk to him.
So when I think about we the people, what that means to me, when they say they fought for their independence, the Declaration of Independence, we the people, it's supposed to be for the people, but it's not. So when I say we the people, this is what I mean. We the people, we entrenched in this nefarious plague station called democracy, searching for empathy from the same people that continue to kill us so viciously. What is wrong with these that we fail to see? That they would never view us equally because we are just cattle feed meant to remain free or kill the cotton fields inside their penitentiaries. We the people must fight back these labels and these leeches that seeks to marginalize our creative genius by reducing us in the eyes of the people, using the criminal justice system that denies us freedom, with a constitution that makes slavery legal, and a malicious educational system that's designed to mislead the people. Because no matter what you have in your mind, to them you are never free. You are being gunned down in the street, not just by your own kind, but even the police, the ones who are trusted to protect and serve, but your voice is never heard because you are merely a slave with no words, because it takes patience for it to be a verb. We the people, beautiful, wonderful, amazing made, but we've been placated and castrated and treated as slaves, never being afforded a real opportunity to reach a high grade because the architects of the Constitution never intended for it to be saved. Through all the amendments and all the progress, we are still reduced to a peasant's wage, murdering one another in cold blood just to fill up the old oppression's graves, because our minds and our hearts are so fixated on this individual stage, whereas we'll turn our backs on the struggle just to get paid. We the people, courageous and strong, but we must do less talking if we want to reclaim our throne. We must put our pride to the side, become unified, then return back to the communities and clean the blood stains for all our young people have died. We must teach our own. We must love our skin tone. We must be reminded that the greatness in which we come from is still our home. Our freedom is our own, and our fight is our zone. Till our very last breath, we must send it to their domes. The memories of our beautiful and amazing history, and all the pain that they caused, so that they can never escape their wrongs. We the people.
Yeah, that's what's up. I applaud you, my brother. I like that. That was a deep message. And you came a long way from how you said you were once and how you demonstrating it now. Yes, if ain't nobody told you, I applaud you. If ain't nobody else told you.
Thank you, brother. But at the same time, we gotta understand that man grow at his own pace and time. So when you having adult males, that's what I would call. You having adult males and adult females. And I say adult males and adult females because we underdeveloped. And when you underdeveloped, you can't transition to manhood or womanhood because you're missing something. And if you're missing something, you can't consider yourself a man or woman no matter how old you is. Because you could be an old fool at 70 years old and you still be missing. That don't make you a man. That just makes you a female or a male.
That's right.
Based on your gender. But when you talk about manhood and womanhood, man, you're talking about responsibility and compassion, empathy and love, respect, sense of regard for community, dedication to uplift. This what you're talking about. You're talking about consistency, man. When you're talking about a man and a woman, you're talking about doing the right things. Even when the right things is hard, you still doing. That's your greatness. That's your power. That's your light. So we got to stop telling these people that they men and they women, that they acting like a female and a male. Because when I was a male, I was irresponsible. I was disrespectful. I was selfish. That's who I was. I was caught up in me. Me. That's who my maleness got me. I wasn't no man. Well, you got people coming around. I'm a man. But when you look at their characteristics, they ain't manhood. They ain't womanhood. You can't say, man, a Donald Trump is a man. I don't care about his politics. I'm talking about how he disregard other people. You can't say Kamala Harris, not the sister. But the way they talk about each other, degrade each other, that ain't manhood and womanhood.
That's right.
Because I don't got to stoop to no lower level just to make you seem smaller. We already small. When we talk about the creator, when we talk about the vastness of the universe, we already small.
Mm-hmm.
We got to understand, man, we got to reroute, man. We doing the thing backwards. We hoping for prosperity and peace. We can't have prosperity and peace. That's why you see so much chaos. That's why you see so many prisons. That's why you see so much suffering. Mm-hmm. That's why. Because we ain't men and we ain't women. We ain't responsible for other people when we supposed to be. Everybody can't be strong. Because if it was, then we all would be strong. Ain't nobody going to choose to be weak. Ain't nobody going to choose to be poor. Everybody can't be wealthy. But don't nobody wake up and say, I want to be in the ghetto. I want to be in the urban city. I want to be in this dilapidated condition. Don't nobody wake up for that.
That's right.
So when a person make it out and say, I made it out, I didn't have to kill nobody or rob nobody or sell no, that means you an exception to the rule, but you ain't the rule.
Mm-hmm. Talk to them.
And we got to understand that. Have some sense of regard for a person. Have some humanity for a person. Give to somebody else without looking for something in return. Do for somebody else without worrying about somebody doing for you. Just do it because it's real. Doing it because it's genuine. Give the best parts of yourself as opposed to worst parts of yourself. That's what you got to do. That's what we must see. And we ain't seeing it right now. You ain't seeing it because we males and we females and we caught up on ourselves. It's about me. Look at us. We worried about us. We don't even worry about the child. Look at the 13, 14-year-old brother just did this. We don't even worry about our children, but we worried about, I'm straight. I got some food in my stomach. I got some insurance. I got some health care. But if we don't worry about our children, man, how can they develop? How can they take care of us when we can't take care of ourselves? How can they aid us, man, if we don't give them the ingredients? And you wonder why our children is disrespectful to their parents. You wonder why they disrespectful to their communities. Because we letting social media raise our children. I never had a choice. I never told my mama what to cook, what I was going to eat, and what I wasn't going to do. I didn't have no, I could come in the house anytime I want. I had a curfew.
That's
and
right.
I was the one that broke the curfew. I had parameters. Even though I broke those parameters, they was in place. You know why they was in place? Because she wanted the best for me.
That's right.
And she knew better than me because she been here longer than me. We got to call on that wisdom, man. But hell, it's not. We got to call on that wisdom. We disregard that wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And we find ourselves in this melting pot where everybody's suffering, everybody's dying, and ain't nobody can. This is where we at. That's why they can do what they do to me. Because don't nobody care.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody care. That's why they can get away with it. Because don't nobody care. But when you care, you become activated. And when you activate it, change is coming. Change is a part of that. How you got this brother in prison I'm supposed to be in prison? How you got this little child on the corner when he's supposed to have a home? Don't know, if you see a child running in the street and the car's about to hit him, don't nobody talk about who child is that. You just run and save the baby.
That's right.
Right now, man, we ain't running to save our babies. Right now, we ain't running to save our babies, man. That's hurtful, man. That's what I'm telling you. It's hurtful, man, and it's painful.
They
And like
don't
I
hear
say,
you.
when you ain't intoxicated on the ears of the world, you in pain when you see that type of stuff. But when I was messed up, that stuff didn't matter to me, man.
You have 1 minute remaining.
They don't hear you.
You know, so I appreciate you, Juice, man, for allowing me to come on your platform. I appreciate the people for listening to me, man. I appreciate everybody that assists me in my endeavors to get out of prison, that assists me in my upliftment, that aids in my peace and my discovery. I mean, I love y'all. There's too many to name. Just know that I love you. I'm here for you. And I'm always going to be consistent in my love and my regards for somebody else. Peace.
Peace. And you come back anytime, Carlos. And we appreciate and love you too, my brother.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm definitely going to stay in touch.
You already know. We locked in.
Yes, sir. No doubt. You can't holler at Bound 2 for me. Give my love.
I will do it. And I hit you on JPay too.
Yes, sir, man. That'd be what's up. I can see some of my fears here. That'd be what's up.
I am. And you tap back in with me
Thank you for
anytime.
using GTL.
That was Carlos X, man, a good brother, powerful brother. And he was involved in a robbery, homicide of a police officer of Hamtramck, Michigan, inner city of Detroit, Michigan. And he had a powerful message, a form of peace, a form of change. He done found himself now, found the way. You know what I'm saying? He done come out of darkness into the light, and we need to stay in tune with those ones we got behind those walls, males and females. You know what I'm saying? They got a story to tell, and they got a message for the people. You know what I'm saying? Of what's going on, what they see that we don't see. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it takes to be removed from a situation to see it clearly. The brothers also in tune with me, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit the like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Let's get this channel up. The brothers informed me that they've been checking Alyssa Slockins and Finley's emails, and they don't see no body supporting the message. It's nothing bad, and if they not raising no fuss. All the brothers them asking with this visit situation is, can the visits go back to normal operations now that the COVID's over? That's all. They ain't trying to raise no fuss, no lawsuits, trying to get no special visits and nothing like that. They just wanted to go back to normal operations now that COVID is over. You know what I'm saying? They still under COVID visitation rules as of date. So that's why, and they want y'all to tap into info at ELISSASALOTKIN.org. Let me say that again. INFO at ELISSASALOTKIN.org. And also KFINLEY74 at gmail.com. Again, that's KFINLEY74 at gmail.com. And just put a V on that. Let them know y'all supporting Alyssa Slockins. That's what the V standing for. To let them know y'all standing by her and her race for campaign, and y'all standing with the prisoners. And also take these inmates prison numbers and tap into them. Hit the JPay and reach out to them, and y'all communicate with them. You know what I'm saying? Those that know them and those who don't know them. We got an open line, and we got a platform for the prisoners behind the walls to reach out and display their talents, as well as let y'all inform y'all of what's going on with them in life as general. With that, I'm gonna close out now and get this out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Letting y'all know the streets is not what it is. The streets ain't what it is. You know what I'm saying? And tap in, support these brothers. Y'all can tap in the Cash App so I can help keep this going and support the brothers in their struggles. Some of y'all got family members in there y'all ain't heard from in a while. Reach in there and tap, or y'all can reach me and I can reach them. And with that, I'm gone. And I appreciate y'all for tapping in, tuning in. Hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Come on, hit that subscribe button. And I'm out. Appreciate y'all. This is the Beat Factory 313 War Story Podcast, and I'm your host, Juice. And I'll see y'all in a minute. And I'm out. You feel me?